had his assault arraignment moved to February 13th after the Super Bowl. The delay means he'll stay on the field for the playoffs as New England leads the AFC East. Charges stem from a dispute with his former private chef. And a resurfaced sermon by Black Bishop Yvette Flunder is trending online after she shared confronting a gospel singer over alleged misconduct. The clip has renewed calls for accountability while also sharing concerns about hypocrisy in church spaces. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK.
WBOK, 12:30 a.m. Good morning show. I am here. I am Will Sutton. Happy that the Lord has blessed me with yet another day to be with our WBOK family. And with me is none other than, hold on, former city council member Oliver Thomas. First time I get to say that. Yeah. But I'm happy you're here, man. It's a good day to be here. I mean, you've committed so much over such a long time, and I know that's not going to stop. In some way, you're going to be here. You're going to be doing it, doing what you do, doing what OT is expected to do, being there for folks, weighing in on issues. But in another way, you have some freedom.
Well, that we can exercise right here.
Yeah.
Every now and then on the Good Morning Show, and freedom to have a little more control of my schedule. But freedom to really get more involved. It's, first of all, I want to reach out and give a shout out to WBSU, Kendall Francis and their management and staff over there, Travis Mackle, did a
hallway conversation.
And it really was a
Yeah.
great conversation.
It was. It was. I saw it. Yeah.
But I appreciated it because it was a really healthy respect for my time in service. And, I've been critical of the press, especially during the election and how they pick and choose. And there is a bias that I think, and I had some receipts to show that amongst people in the press. But I appreciated WDSU reaching out. And Travis, who I've known his father, with Frank McElroy, a long time ago, man, a long time. And so
Oh. Keep talking. Keep talking.
yeah, so so it's OT is looking forward to definitely. Hey guys, we're trying to get situated with the
technical thing.
technical stuff in the
Yeah.
in the studio, so bear with us a bit. Testing 1, 2, 3. Bear with us a bit. So
Good to go. Good to go.
we good to go. So no, man, a former New Orleans City Councilman Oliver Thomas. Second time I've been in that position, and looking forward to the future, and want our city council and want our mayor to be successful. Why? Because we live here, and I don't look at life through rose-colored glasses. I understand there's some challenges. I understand there's differences, and I know election matters, and who gets elected matters. So let's just hope it matters for all of us.
Yeah. Well, it was a big day, of course, yesterday, and I'll give this context to it. Yesterday would have been a big day for us, no matter who was elected, because you're a transition of power,
Right.
A new mayor, no matter who was elected, and a new direction, no matter who is elected, because even if the mayor succeeding Mayor LaToya Cantrell said, I agree with so much of what she's done, and I will continue that, I guarantee it wouldn't have been 100%.
No,
because people have different styles and different philosophies, and we agree on this point, but we're going to do it a different way.
I mean, it would have been different if Frank Janusa would have been elected, Eileen Carter, or Royce Duplessis, or myself, or any of the other people. You have different personality. You have a different team. But what you hope is that, and I said this in my interview with Travis with WDSU, is that you hope that you don't have sore winners. We have been afflicted with sore winners in too many political offices who spend more time going after who didn't support them than governance or building on what worked or fixing what was broken.
Yeah, I hear you. Yep.
And that's not leadership.
So, all right. So you mentioned sore winners when you were here before.
Yeah,
Let me
that's
ask
a phrase that I coined a long
know,
time ago.
I know. So let's talk about sore losers. You consider yourself a sore loser? Do you consider anybody else
no,
who
you get
ran,
you get your
prominent or not?
You,
as
yeah,
sore
you,
loser
no,
or
you,
no?
you get your butt kicked and you get over it. I mean, don't forget, there was a little man on a little talk show who tried to make my after election comments about when I said that.
Oh, you're talking about that other
When I and that's I mean, I understand that there are people who are part of targeting people, especially to bring them down or diminish their role in this community. So, when I said, and I remember, man, it was the only person part of the media that went all in on the comment. Most people understood it; they knew me. When I said that the devil just doesn't want 90% of the city, the devil wants it all. Well, no, he didn't get mad when Trump made his comments about the devil or other elected officials. The devil is in the detail. I wasn't talking about people. I was talking about systems that hold people back. And I wasn't disparaging any political person or any race agenda of people or any political party. I was talking about the fact that, there are forces in this community that are not for all of us. And those forces will continue to do what they do to control socially, economically, spiritually, if you believe in good and evil, like I do, and in terms of our family and in terms of politics. So when I made that comment, it had nothing to do with calling people devils, any class or race of people devils. It was talking about how power is so absolute and wanting to maintain its status quo.
All right. We're going to have to take a break. We'll talk a bit more about the Inauguration Day and the transition right after the break. I am Will Sutton, and with me is
OT in the house.
The talk line is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. You're listening to the Good Morning Show on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Tuesday morning, I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. Mayor Helena Moreno takes the oath of office, becoming the 63rd mayor of our city and the first Latina to lead the city. She wasted no time getting to work, signing 13 executive orders, including establishing a deputy mayor system. Moreno enters her first term with more than a $200 million deficit. She says her first 100 days will be devoted to improving streetlights, speeding up infrastructure projects, and bringing new revenue. Now, Moreno will join new councilmember Jason Hughes in New Orleans East today to kick off those improvement efforts with the Lights On initiative. It comes as lighting, illegal dumping, and other infrastructure issues are piling up in the area. Mayor Moreno and other city leaders will share their plans to fix streetlights during a news conference at 10 a.m. today. Council members elected and re-elected also took the oath of office on yesterday. Jason Hughes, Matthew Willard, and Amy McCarron are joining the council for the very first time. They say the council is on the city's huge budget deficit and retaining as many city workers as possible, which is going to be their main focus. And former Vice President Kamala Harris also helped usher in the city's new chapter, swearing in Mayor Moreno. She also stopped by Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club on North Broad and Little Dizzy's Cafe for lunch. Harris will be promoting her book 107 Days at an event tonight at the Singer Theater. It's happening at 7 p.m. and tickets are available online. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM, or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
Good morning, wake up.
The Good Morning Show
Good morning.
on WBOK.
back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton and OT in the house.
Yeah, I'm in the house.
I still want to do the bell for you, my man.
You still want to do the bell, man? You can ring my bell. Ring my bell.
All right.
Man.
Yeah. All right, it's 7:17 a.m., folks, and that means babies and kiddos are on their way to school. Please,
wake up.
Whatever you do, be safe as you get out on those
And if you're late,
highways and streets.
Don't rush. You're late already.
Hey, if you needed to be there at 7:15, it's 7:17. What does that mean?
That means you're late.
No, what kind of story you need to come up with?
Hey, don't use the same one you used before when you were late.
Okay.
Change your story. I remember the last time you said your goldfish had puppies.
Yeah, right.
So you had to go to the vet. Don't use that story.
Yeah, don't use that. All right. And stay off your phone.
And stay off your phone.
Take care of
and
your
don't
makeup.
get mad at the other person who's not late.
Yeah, and take care of your makeup and your chapstick and
Right.
your tie. I've seen that. It's like do that at home or just wait till you get to
Right.
the parking spot.
Right.
You know, because everybody needs to be safe. That includes you.
Right.
But you need to be safe so you can keep other people safe. And again,
That's
watch
absolutely
out for
correct.
those kiddos. Shout out to the assistant principals on transportation duty. Appreciate what y'all do every morning to welcome everybody.
And the crossing guards, man.
718 OT. It was a big day yesterday. Inauguration of the new mayor, Helena
And the new
Moreno,
council.
and the new council. So had a number of returning council members and
Four.
three
Four.
new council
Yeah.
members.
4 old and 3 new.
Yep. And so that is it's a new day because they're new faces in some cases, but it's not a new day into like we never seen you before. That kind of thing.
Yeah. But it is drastically different. Even if people have seen you before and they've served in other capacity before, this is different.
Okay.
Being mayor is much different from being on the council or being in any other seat.
Yeah.
The level of responsibility,
And I'm sure it's different,
the amount of
to be a
employees,
district council
be-
member
be-
versus,
being-
at large.
being a district council member is different. Some similarities, but different at large.
Because you've done both.
But the districts actually have 2 council members. There are 3.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Each district should have
That's
3.
right.
Right? And being in the state rep, being a state elected official versus being a city official is different. State constitution versus home rule charter. The roles and responsibilities are different. On the city council, you're present every day. You at work every day. In the legislature, it's a little different.
Yeah. Well, I was there.
I listened. I had a bunch of meetings.
Yeah.
Yesterday, man, and but I tried to listen when I could. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a packed house as I would expect. It was a high quality production produced event. A lot of dignitaries, public elected and appointed officials, and people from different parts of the community, business.
There are people from different parts of the country, man.
And, country too.
Yeah.
Because of course we had the former Vice President Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
decided
but you
to
had
come in.
Michelle Miller,
Michelle Miller,
one of the
in
co-hosts.
from,
she lives in New York, but she
recently
Yeah.
formerly of New York CBS.
no, she lives in New York.
Yeah, right.
Formerly of
And-
CBS.
formerly of CBS. and Mark Morrell came in. He's from here, from mayor, but
Yeah, he lives in New York, too.
away. Yeah.
Right.
And so there were quite a number of people. The program, in my estimation, somebody who was sitting in the audience with no special seating or anything, was a diverse crowd overall. There was hold on, listen to me, listen to me, with the camera angles.
With the camera angles,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. And but sitting in there, it was a large majority, not like 51%, a large majority of white people in the Sanger Theater.
So similar to the Landrieu administration, which was 80% white. Mostly, and that's okay. I mean, you had to, anyone who didn't expect
your supporters in there.
Yeah, you had to expect that.
Yeah, you do want, and the program was very black.
Audience mostly white, program mostly black.
Absolutely. I mean, and
given the text from people that I showed you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I talked to a couple of people after the program, and I think we can hear from juvenile court judge Clint Smith now if we're ready, Jared.
And for folks who listen, that's okay. Had it been a different person elected, the demographic would have been different. The mix would have been different. That's probably anyone who was surprised about the demographic of the crowd probably doesn't understand politics.
Right. Is that available? Okay, let's hear. Okay, we're going to hear from Clint Smith in a moment.
Judge Clint Smith.
Juvenile court judge Clint Smith, who has been an attorney in this city for quite some time, and last election won a juvenile court seat and has been doing that hard, tough work.
Yeah. Well, Judge Clint specifically spoke focusing on young black men and young black kids. I love his outreach and what he's trying to do.
Yeah, he's working at it a different way. All right, so let's hear from Judge Smith.
Yeah, I was very pleased to be here to participate in this very wonderful event. I am looking forward to working with the administration and to continue to work with some of the individuals we have started with to improve the situation for juvenile court and all of the youth of this community. I believe there is a lot of synergies there. We've had some preliminary discussions with representatives of the new administration, and they are committed to working with us to improve the conditions for all of the kids in our community. I'm looking forward to being very, very much involved in that process.
All right. So the perspective from juvenile court judge Clint Smith, and good comments. I mean, especially being certainly not at your level of a public person, but a public person, an elected public person. You're not going to have a lot of people saying, "Oh, it was horrible. This is horrible. It's going to be." I mean, that's not likely.
But those comments from Judge Smith are a continuation of the work that was already done.
Yeah.
With Mayor Marino already started working with juvenile court judges on several issues.
Yes.
Last year. Mm-hmm. So it would be in line with the work that she's already done with several juvenile court judges. And the reason why Judge Smith, and then Judge Smith, one of the point people for when you talk about, especially dealing with our kids, he is a breath of fresh air. Every time I've ever been back there with the kids or on program, I've been the speaker for events or for mentoring, he is 90% of the time he's there. And I know he started working with Mayor Marino long before the inauguration.
Okay, we got to go to break. It is 7:26 a.m. I'm Will Sutton, and with me is Oliver Thomas, former council member.
As of 12 noon yesterday.
Yeah. All right. So we're talking Inauguration Day and transition. We're going to talk some more.
Give us a call. What did you think?
We're going to be hearing on the Good Morning Show from Victor Sims, and that'll be a good
Mentally speaking. So in terms of your mentality and your emotion, elections have consequences, right? So how does it make you feel emotional? Are you hopeful, right? Are you skeptical? You don't give a damn one way or another. Well, we're going to talk about that with Victor Sims, but I'd also like to hear from you guys, man. What do y'all think? What are you looking forward to? Do you have expectations? Are you disappointed? Or you like Will asked me earlier, is you still mad about the election? No. Get your butt kicked, you compete, then you move on.
Yeah, right. All right, we're going to break now. We'll be back with the Good Morning Show right after the break. The talk line is 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. You're listening to WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about
all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
The January feel continues as we go throughout the rest of the week. Highs for today will be 59 to 61 degrees. We'll see partly cloudy skies, increasing clouds for the afternoon as we could see a shower or two brush through. For tonight, lows 43 to 48, and then for your Wednesday, slightly warmer, but a cold front moves in, dropping our temperatures even more for Thursday. Highs possibly only into the 40s and the 50s, and staying cool for the rest of the week. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks
and Kimber White Dupree
from the front porch.
Some combos are too good to miss. Now you can pull up a chair to the front porch anytime.
Just search WBOK Media and subscribe to the Front Porch Podcast.
Download, share, and hit us with a 5-star rating because New Orleans culture deserves to be heard loud and clear.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Let's kick this year off right. WBOK invites you to the Fresh Start Mixer, Vision and Venture, part of a Seat at the Table series for 2026. January 15th at Nostalgia, 320 South Broad Street. Come create your own vision board, set your goals, sharpen your ideas, and connect with people who are actually building towards their future. Kick your year off right with a seat at the table. January 15th at Nostalgia, 320 South Broad Street from 5:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. Follow WBOK Media on Instagram. Ask for details in the DMs.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
My wife was frying okra. She's from Mississippi, so that's her favorite thing to do. She left the burner on high, and it didn't take long to ignite. So I ran to the stove, grabbed the pot, and that's when I got burned from a grease fire. And yes, the pain was, it was bad. Oh, Blue Cross treated me great with the recovery process. On the financial side, it would be expensive without Blue Cross. And that's what I was worrying about because I was out of work for 3 months. I'm Chad. I'm from Baton Rouge, and I had Blue Cross for 10 years. I don't eat fried okra. That's the funniest story.
Louisiana Blue. The right card, the right care.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Your ears already this morning, and welcome to the Good Morning Show for those of you who are just tuning in, you missed great conversation with Brother OT and me, Will Sutton, talking about the inauguration yesterday of Helena Moreno and inauguration of the new city council.
The legislative branch of government.
And they have a responsibility.
As the legislators, their number one responsibility is fiscal responsibility and accountability.
Okay.
And it's the only city council that regulates the public utility, as well as the municipal ordinances that governs the city and the city charter.
Absolutely. All right. So we're going to jump into conversation with Kathy Hempstead with the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. And Kathy's going to talk with us about the ACA tax credits, because as you know, those tax credits were not extended by the end of the year. The end of the year came and went, and that did not happen. So we're going to get some education and information about the impact for private and public health insurance, what we can expect this year, what some people are already feeling, and how it's going to change our lives. Good morning, Kathy Hempstead. You're on with Will Sutton and Alva Thomas.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, and Happy New Year.
Same to you. It's not too late to say Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you both.
I'm of the mind that at least till mid-month, if you haven't seen somebody, and the end of the month if you haven't seen somebody in a long time. So that's where I am on that. So, Kathy, of course, you do some great work at the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, and I think I've told you before, I've been there, known people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's an
absolutely great organization.
Incredible organization that I hope
more
people will learn about or learn more about. But today we're talking about the ACA tax credits, and this was very big news in December in the context of will they or won't they? Will they or won't they? And they didn't. And they didn't. And here we are.
Correct.
So, no extension. Where does that put us?
Well, they didn't, but I guess they still might, because Congress is still talking about it.
Right.
And I think that's something everybody's watching this week to see whether or not the Senate can come up with a bipartisan agreement, and then kind of vibes the president gives about whether or not it would be vetoed.
So, Kathy, given that ongoing discussion, and one of the things I did this weekend was kind of look at many of the elected officials who came on talking about the expiring ACA and what needs to happen next. Our senator, state senator, giving him credit, Senator Cassidy, is kind of taking the lead on it, trying to make some sense out of this and get bipartisan support. What about his efforts for more patient control, and especially via lowering your premium on bronze plans and giving patients more direct control over controlling costs? Where do you stand on that, and how do you see that as a possibility where we could get bipartisan support?
I feel like there's a lot of support for that idea that a bipartisan solution might need to include some sort of acknowledgement of that interest in having a little bit more of an account-based approach where people might get the tax credits but could have a choice. I don't know quite how it would be structured, have a choice of having the money as a lump sum instead. I mean, I think if you trade off sort of for like a plan, like a bronze plan with an account versus a silver plan without, I mean, I think the thing that people really need to understand is that they could expose themselves to a lot more out-of-pocket costs than what that account would cover if they, it's a little bit of a risk,
right.
If they go down to the bronze, because you could end up in the emergency room, you might get a bill for, $3,800 or something like that. And if you have a bronze plan, you're going to have a a deductible in a territory where you're going to need to come up with that. So I think that, the idea of giving people more money, I think a lot of people are hoping that if we could sort of give people more money, it might help to drive prices down and make our system be a little bit cheaper and more market-based. And I understand that feeling, but to sort of give that money to a very small share of consumers probably won't make that change, because they're not going to drive prices or really affect the healthcare economy, because they're in the market with people on Medicare, Medicaid, all these other people that aren't doing that. So I think there's sort of a system effect that won't really happen in this context. And I guess what I kind of worry about is that consumers might not totally understand what risks they'd be taking on and say, oh yeah, I'm so happy to have this $2,000 because now I can, pay for these, primary care visits or whatever. But then when they really get whomped with something big, they're not gonna have what they need. So I'm a little bit worried about it, but I also think it's kind of part of the conversation. And if we're going to get something that has bipartisan support, it just might need to include something, something about accounts. And I get where it comes from.
For our listening audience, we're talking about expiring ACA Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. It's important. And right now, Congress and the Senate are wrestling with how do we move forward? Do we get bipartisan support? There are two parts of the Cassidy plan that are in contention, and that is the expiring enhanced subsidies. I mean, part of the Republican plan is to let the subsidies expire, but there's also another part of when you talk about controlling the funds is that, should we continue writing a blank check to the insurers, or why not have more patient control?
Well, I think that a lot of the sort of patient control feeling is coming out of some pretty negative feelings about insurers, which I think insurers frankly have earned to a large extent by doing a lot of things that have been reported on and do not give them a good look. So let me start by saying that. But nevertheless, this is insurance. So if you give people $2,000 and they sort of go out and spend it on things that don't even count toward their deductible.
Okay.
I mean, in the short run, they're going to kind of shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah. Do you rely on the patient, the consumer, to manage that? That's a challenge. Okay.
Yeah, I think we could have a conversation and say, let's create a different health insurance system where we pull a lot of things out of the insurance contract and let the market set the price and have insurance be, to cover different things and be maybe the premiums would be less expensive, et cetera. That's a reasonable conversation to have. But I think that in the current moment, if you try to do some kind of last minute kind of seat of the pants maneuver where you're giving people some money and you're not explaining very much what it's about, and they are in an insurance plan, which does give them a lot of sort of out of pocket financial obligation, I think you could sow a lot of chaos. So that's what I'm worried about. And the other thing I would say is that, as much as there's a lot to say critically about insurance companies, and I'm glad to be the first person to say those things, in the ACA marketplace, they have to only earn a certain return, a certain amount they can keep for themselves above what they're spending on claims. And if they earn more than that, they have to issue refunds. So it's not the case that insurance companies are price gouging, and that's the problem. I mean, we can say a lot of things about insurance companies, that they make a lot of decisions about how to manage people's care that maybe is more motivated by their investors than by what's better for patients. And you can say a lot of things about the business models of big insurers, for sure. But in this context, insurers are not really the problem. So it's not the case let's negotiate with insurers and have them lower their prices and that's going to solve all the problems. It's really not like that. I mean, they're basically passing through prices from hospitals, doctors, prescription drug
Then
manufacturers, et cetera, they're allowed to earn a small return, and if they earn too much, they have to issue refunds. And that was part of the ACA, and that's the way it was set up, so that we weren't writing a blank check to insurers, and we're not. But I think that that's a convenient way to try to portray what's going wrong here, because insurance companies are very unpopular, and President Trump is setting up some, episode where he's going to negotiate with the insurers and, see if he can get them to lower their rates. And, frankly, if you try to get insurance companies to sell plans at a rate that's not profitable for them, pretty soon what they'll do is exit the market, and I don't think that's necessarily what we want.
So Kathy, I have a question for you about the people who were waiting for extensions to be approved for whatever length of time. They went ahead and signed up for a plan that maybe they couldn't afford, but they was like, I need something. And if by chance there is some type of extension and some changes, but they've already signed up, will they be able to benefit from whatever changes if there's something to benefit from?
I absolutely think so. I mean, of course, I'm talking about something that there's no previous example of, so I'm speculating a little bit, but absolutely, I think what would happen is they would open up open enrollment again. They would let people, maybe somebody who came in and bought a bronze plan because they couldn't afford a silver, and now they would like to switch to a silver, and maybe there are other people that didn't even buy coverage at all, or dropped their coverage from last year. I think they would, give everybody sort of a do-over to go in there and, and change their plan or buy a plan for the first time.
Okay, very good.
So I mentioned Senator Cassidy, and I know you guys, especially at Robert Wood, you're just looking for the best plan that protects the interests of our consumer. But is Senator Cassidy headed in the right direction? Is what he's trying to do something we can rally around, or what would you guys' recommendations be about what the proposal he's putting forward now?
I mean, again, I think like in a bigger, more systemic way, I think it would be interesting to have a bigger conversation about like how could we restructure our insurance system so that it costs less and we could cover everybody. And maybe one of the ways to do that would be to activate consumers more than the way they're currently activated, when they're basically just sort of taking prices and paying copays. And, I think you could argue that if consumers were more active, prices might be lower. I get that. So my problem is kind of trying to like slap that onto this situation right now, where I feel like I don't think it's going to have the market effect, and I think it could be kind of a bum steer for people who don't really necessarily understand the trade-off they're making. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I think that it could be part of a serious conversation about how to sort of cover more people at a lower cost.
So let's talk about ultimately, because in many cases, folk want to know, they don't understand how these federal programs, statewide programs, what happens internationally also has an effect or an impact on your house, in your family, at your dinner table. Also, if we don't get this right, or if it's the wrong program, what impact will it have on state budgets and public programs potentially, or could?
Well, I think a long time ago, Warren Buffett said that medical costs were the tapeworm on American productivity, which I've always remembered that as a great phrase. And since you raised sort of the global context, if you compare us to other countries that are like us in a lot of other ways, we spend a lot more money on our healthcare system and we cover fewer people. And, one of the reasons is that we have sort of a lot higher prices for healthcare services, for for doctors, for hospitals, for for prescription drugs, and for everything in between. And there's lots and lots of different people making a lot of money in American healthcare. So I think that many people feel like one of the ways to get to a place where we have more people covered and we spend less on it would be to have a more universal system and have different ways to lower prices. And one way to lower prices is to set them, to have more leverage from the payer. So, we see, for example, both Biden and Trump trying to, lower prescription drug prices in different ways and set them at some level, whether it's either the level that Medicare pays or the level that other countries pay. And, you could think about setting prices in other contexts too. And, another way, and I don't think they're mutually exclusive, another way is to take more things sort of out of the insurance contract and put it out in the marketplace and let people develop sort of cheaper ways to provide services. So I think that that's sort of part of what Senator Cassidy is getting at too. And I think, both things could be part of a solution. Another thing is that we have so many different health insurance segments in this country. It's incredibly complicated, and we waste a lot of time and money sort of churning in between them. So I think another thing would be to reduce administrative costs by creating a more universal system. And I do think this incident that's happened with the Affordable Care Act, it is making people, I think about our system overall and how, there's really a lot of ways it could be improved.
So from an equity standpoint, which of the communities like low-income workers, community of color, rural residents are likely to be most impacted by whatever happens or doesn't happen? And thank you for giving us that bronze and silver comparison without some changes and then with some changes. But for folks like that, overall, what is this year likely to look like for them if there are changes and if they aren't?
Yeah, and I would say for communities of color, low-income communities in general, that I think that the problem with the account type approach that we were talking about is that there's a tax exemption which isn't useful, particularly if you're in a lower tax bracket. So I think that's one problem. And we just know from so much research that when people have to pay out of pocket, a lot of out of pocket things for healthcare, they lower income people don't, and they just don't because they have competing priorities for their money. They're living paycheck to paycheck. They have to pay for groceries, school costs for their kids, whatever, and they will let things go. And they'll let things go that some of them are not important, but some of them are very important. So I think from an equity standpoint, it would be better to have a system where there's as little out-of-pocket obligation as possible for the really, really critical things. And that's why, for example, the ACA incorporated the rules that evidence-based preventive services like mammographies, colonoscopies, vaccinations, things like that would be available to people with no cost sharing for them. And that's critical because we know that especially for preventive things, lower income people will say, well, I'm not having an acute problem. I don't really need to worry about that. This is going to cost a couple $100. I'm not going to do it. And, and that really contributes to serious illness and mortality because then people don't get diagnosed with things sometimes till they're too late to treat. So I think from an equity standpoint, we would really want to have a healthcare system where important things are available to everybody with little or no cost sharing. And then maybe there's an opportunity for, people to exercise sort of consumer power for some other services that, where really maybe we could create cheaper market-based prices for things, and that would lower premiums for everybody too, but wouldn't jeopardize people's health. So I think from an equity standpoint, that's a really important aspect of a universal system, and that's a problem for low-income folks, frankly, with the Bronze Plan, which I think might have been what you originally asked me about. If people drop down to Bronze, I absolutely think it's better than nothing, but I think there's, for a lot of people, having a $7,500 or $8,000 deductible and an $11,000 out-of-pocket max is a really big problem, and it's going to unfortunately expose people to debt, I think, and people will be afraid to seek care because they'll be so worried about what they might have to pay. And, you know, we know that when people are uninsured or underinsured, and this would be an example of being kind of underinsured, you know, they are terrified to go because they don't know what their bill's going to look like.
Yeah, that'd be
and,
tough.
You know, but
go ahead.
But even if that's true and you hold on to that policy, you're still protected, you know, because something could happen. You could find yourself needing open heart surgery and you can't prevent that. And then you might have a bill that could be, you know, who knows, $50,000, who knows. And if you do have that bronze plan, you're way better off than if you don't. So I do encourage people to buy the plan that they can afford, hope that Congress does the right thing, but but I do think it creates a really big problem for lower income enrollees because I know and we know from so much research that people will be afraid to use their coverage, and that's not good for their health.
Ultimately,
we're going to have to take a break. Kathy, can you? We got to take the break, but can you stay with us for a few more minutes?
Sure, of course, no
Okay,
problem.
All right. So we are in conversation with Kathy Hempstead from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. We're talking about these ACA tax credits that expired and whether there's a possibility of getting some more.
You know, a lot of times I'm a translator, right? And at the end of the day, the disturbing thing about what Kathy said was that the plan you can afford might not be the one that saves your life.
How about that? Good.
So, let's get back to that.
All right. The talk line is 504-582-9422. Looks like we're going to have a few more minutes with Kathy before she has to go. And after that, I think we're going to talk some more about Inauguration Day and transition.
Yeah, and then we get into mentally speaking.
Because we had some folks who wanted to get in on a conversation. They called in. So go ahead and ring the phone, and we'll be getting to you soon. This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m. with New Orleans. It's talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. The Magnificent Seven, led by NVIDIA, have been dominating conversations on Wall Street for a while now. But Black-owned and led Ariel Investments is finding value flying under the radar with smaller companies. Here's Ariel Investments founder, chairman, and CEO, John Rogers.
We're still finding ideas in the small value space. You know, they really have been ignored. They're kind of the ugly ducklings when you compare it to NVIDIA and Apple and all these giant, exciting growth stories. You know, the little mundane businesses that we've invested in for 42 years just seem particularly orphaned these days. So we're seeing great ideas and excited to be doing the research and think there's real opportunity for small value.
Ariel Investments, John Rogers speaking to Bloomberg there. The firm's flagship Ariel Fund focuses entirely on small and mid-cap stocks. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Hoops, Heat, The Truth, on demand. Ball Don't Lie is now live on all podcast platforms. Tap in, search WBOK Media, find Ball Don't Lie, and bring the fire with you wherever you go. Download, share, and leave that 5-star review, because the game doesn't stop when the show ends.
What if just $50 could open the door to your new home? Godan's is inviting you to enter their Key to Your Heart house raffle, where one ticket gives you a chance to win a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in the city of New Orleans. The drawing will happen on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Tickets must be purchased by February 12th at 11:59 p.m. Enter now at RAYZE.it/Key to Your Heart.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
When it comes to family planning, should you go with a will or a trust?
A will is like leaving instructions to the court. It tells them who gets what, but your family still has to go through a succession, which can be costly and time-consuming.
A trust, on the other hand, avoids court altogether. So when the time comes, everything transfers smoothly to your loved ones.
It's a little more work up front, but way less hassle and expense later. Plan smart, save time, and take care of your family.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
The Historic New Orleans Collection presents a new exhibition open through June 7th, 2026. The Trail They Blazed. Built collaboratively with people who participated in the local civil rights movement, the Trail They Blazed presents stories of social and racial justice straight from the people who lived them. Listen to leaders tell their stories of resistance and persistence in their own voices, recorded by the Historic New Orleans Collection. Plan your visit to 520 Royal Street in the French Quarter and reserve your free tickets at hnoc.org today.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Morning time.
Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton with Oliver Thomas here at the Good Morning Show, right here at WBOK 1230 AM. We've been in conversation with Kathy Hempstead from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, wonderful organization, and we thank Kathy for the work that she's done. She's been gracious to stay another minute or so before we have to take another break.
Well, Kathy, we got 30 seconds to the next the next segment. If you could roll us out in that time, where we are, what to expect, and what you hope to happen. Hello, Kathy.
Kathy.
And the shortest run is that we find a way to extend these tax credits to make coverage more affordable for people in the individual market. In the meantime, in Louisiana, Thursday's the last day to enroll in coverage that starts February. So I encourage people not to wait. Go out there, buy the plan that you can afford. It's better than nothing. See what happens. Sure. Hopefully there'll be an opportunity to go back and get a cheaper plan. Big picture, I think we need to really change the way we do healthcare in this country so that we can cover everybody and spend less doing it.
All right.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. And how can people reach out to you, Kathy?
Sure. Anytime. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
All right, Kathy. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We've been in conversation with Kathy Hempstead from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Good conversation. Uncomfortable because we don't know what's going to happen. But
man, but talking about uncomfortable. I mean, you need life-saving treatment. You need coverage. You need medicine, and you can't afford it.
Yeah.
That's maybe the ultimate and uncomfortable.
Absolutely. So, look, we're going to be taking a break momentarily, but when we come back, I hope that some of you all who have comments,
If you will call back,
want to get some things off your chest, or have a question that maybe we can provide an answer to, and if not, we'll provide a response about the inauguration in a new administration.
Got a new council and a new mayor, guys. How you feel about it? 504-582-9422 OTWS, providing information that gives you the best chance to figure it out right here.
You're listening to WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about
all day long.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Arizona Senator Mark Kelly is suing Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, claiming a punishment over video urging troops to refuse illegal orders violates his constitutional rights.
That's why today I filed a lawsuit against the Secretary of Defense to protect my rights, the rights of retired veterans, and the rights of all Americans.
Hegseth called the video seditious. A Chattanooga pastor is headed to prison. Ricky Lee Taylor Jr., who is black, was sentenced to 30 months for a $1.8 million COVID-19 relief fraud scheme. Prosecutors say he used fake businesses to get PPP loans and spent the money on luxury items. He must also pay restitution. And Helena Moreno is officially New Orleans' 63rd mayor. She was sworn in at the Sanger Theater by former Vice President Kamala Harris, becoming the city's first Hispanic and second female mayor. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
with Kathy Hempstead from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. But I know that a number of you all have some thoughts, some ideas, and feeling some kind of way, whether that's good, fantastic, fabulous, or down in the dumps, or how do you feel? You can give us a call.
Give us a call, man, right here on the show. People are even trying to call me on my cell phone while we were here on the show, talking about the election, man. Will Sutton.
You can talk to OT privately later.
After the show. But
call
504-582-9422 to talk to us about what Victor Sims, mentally speaking. But give us a call. How do you feel about the inauguration? What did it mean to you? Right?
What about the message?
Yeah.
What about the music, the performances? How things looked? How did it feel? Did you tune in or did you tune out? 504-582-9422. All right. So we're going to be talking just a few more minutes about that, and we welcome.
So let me ask
calls.
you then, Will.
Yes, sir.
So elections have consequences.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned earlier, right? We did a segment some time ago about the mental impact of regime change, right?
Change.
Or administration, or change in general. How do you feel?
How do I feel?
Yeah, I mean, as a journalist, you have to take a look at not just the surface level, but you look at what it means, and your editorial specifically right to the emotional impact of decisions that are made by the public. What do you think?
Well, without reading my draft.
I'm interviewing the host.
Without reading my draft that I will be finishing after the show.
Okay.
At this point in my writing phase, it's still another version of what will be my column. So it's a draft. So something can change.
Right.
But one of the points that I'm making in the piece that should be online sometime today and likely in the next day's paper is that representation still matters. I'm just saying that. I mean, there's a declining number of black mayors in Louisiana. The voters here decided something else. This is our mayor, and so the representation needs to look like this is still a black city, and that has to be placed as an important piece
powerful
of where we go from here. So the election has been decided.
Yes,
that does not mean representation.
It doesn't mean it won't have an impact one way or another.
That's right.
Great point.
Okay.
And
from a general standpoint, what we're looking for is change.
Yes.
And change has occurred. Change always generates stress and anxiety. Stress can be uncomfortable, but there's also a positive stress called eustress, where it's something you look forward to. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of individuals who are looking forward to this change.
Correct.
Now, whether or not the change is going to meet their expectations, that's yet to be determined.
Bingo.
Because the mountain of responsibility that's taking place, and as OT has mentioned, until you're sitting in that seat,
right,
you don't exactly know all the nooks and crannies of that particular situation.
Right.
We know we can make the promises for that, but there are so many variables that play a role in making decisions and making changes. And in that particular seat, just like any other executive seat, there are a lot of different variables that I'll assume is under the table that you don't really see until you're in the seat.
You don't even know they're there yet.
You don't even know they're there.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got callers lining up, firing up the phone, and we're going to get to you. We're going to take a quick break. And so Papa Baptiste, Larry, hope I'm saying that right. Please hold on. Don't go anywhere. We see you. We're going to get to you in just a couple of
Yeah, for the
minutes.
public, give us a call, man.
We still got room.
Elections matter. We want to know how you feel. You feel good? You're concerned?
Yeah.
Let
us know.
What do you want to see?
What did you like
Absolutely.
yesterday? Something you loved? Let us know. All right. 504-582-9422. That's the WBOK talk line, 504-582-9422. You're listening to WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Tuesday morning, I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. Mayor Helena Moreno takes the oath of office, becoming the 63rd mayor of our city and the first Latina to lead the city. She wasted no time getting to work, signing 13 executive orders, including establishing a deputy mayor system. Moreno enters her first term with more than a $200 million deficit. She says her first 100 days will be devoted to improving streetlights, speeding up infrastructure projects, and bringing new revenue. Now, Moreno will join new councilmember Jason Hughes in New Orleans East today to kick off those improvement efforts with the Lights On initiative. It comes as lighting, illegal dumping, and other infrastructure issues are piling up in the area. Mayor Moreno and other city leaders will share their plans to fix streetlights during a news conference at 10 a.m. today. Council members elected and re-elected also took the oath of office on yesterday. Jason Hughes, Matthew Willard, and Amy McCarron are joining the council for the very first time. They say the council is on the city's huge budget deficit and retaining as many city workers as possible, which is going to be their main focus. And former Vice President Kamala Harris also helped usher in the city's new chapter, swearing in Mayor Moreno. She also stopped by Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club on North Broad and Little Dizzy's Cafe for lunch. Harris will be promoting her book 107 Days at an event tonight at the Singer Theater. It's happening at 7 p.m. and tickets are available online. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day.
Hey, everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the front porch, y'all. You know how we do. Every Monday is Moving Monday.
And Tuesday is Trivia Tuesday.
And y'all know we have nothing but bad cheering coming through here on Wednesday.
But stick with us. On Thursday, we travel.
That's right. And Friday's Free Your Mind Friday, so get your brass up.
Something on your mind? Want to get it off your chest?
Holla at your people. WBOK 1230 AM, the station you listen to.
All day long.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I am Will Sutton.
And I'm OT.
Today is OT. And Victor Sims
Good morning.
joined
Good
us
morning.
For his regular visit, and we're happy that you already scheduled, but it happened to be the day after the inauguration.
Yes.
The transition from one mayor to another.
Yes.
And from one city council to another. But let's take a couple of calls.
Okay.
And get you weighing in on
Absolutely.
that, too. Good morning, Larry. You're on with Will Sutton, Alva Thomas, and Victor
Lorraine,
Sims.
good morning. God bless you.
Am I saying the name right?
Great morning,
Good morning,
Bill.
Lorraine.
Great morning, OT. That's Lorraine. You close. You close.
All right, Lorraine. All right.
To talk about yesterday, which was very interesting, and I did watch some of the inauguration online through the feed, and it was nice. It was well put together, production, typical to me. But I just want to say that our new mayor has a very, very hard uphill climb, because there's a lot of things that she's going to have to tackle all at once. So I just wish her Godspeed, and I guess she'll find out, as we say here in New Orleans. Let me find out.
Let me
She's gonna
find
find out.
You already know.
A dog and pony show.
That's Big Ike, y'all.
Oh, Big Ike. All right. Good morning, Big Ike.
What's that? That was a dog and pony show yesterday. But guess what? It's a great day to be alive in the city of New Orleans. But like they say, let me find out. It's gonna be all right though. We the most intelligent, but sometimes IGNUT, like Uncle Pyran used to say, when it comes to things to our nature.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But you guys keep doing an awesome job, man.
Yeah,
and keep blessed, man.
y'all keep doing what y'all doing, and thank you, OT, for your service.
Appreciate that.
You know, they really need to horn in on your expertise, especially in District E, because he's going to need a lot of help. Yep.
Appreciate you. God bless you guys. All right.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right,
you,
Chief.
Larry.
Thank you,
And
Chief.
Big Ike.
Big
Y'all
Ike,
have
Chief.
a great day. Lord's blessings. All right. We got Papa Baptiste on the line. Papa
Baptiste, the patriarch.
All right. Baptiste family patriarch. You're on with Will Sutton, OT, and Victor Sims.
As my father would say, come on, se va, messieurs.
Oh,
Go for you guys.
Buenos dias, senor.
All of that.
What's happening,
We got all
bro?
of that. This is New Orleans. We got all of that. We got Buenos dias, konnichiwa, arigato,
How you
we got all
doing,
that.
bruh? What's
So
that?
listen, I'm going to be straight to the point. For a very serious note,
when my son Russell passed away, I talked to Oliver, but Helena Moreno's office was the only office to call David Russell Baptiste Sr.'s house and ask what could she do, because my son Russell meant so much to music and the culture of New Orleans. And at the time I said, I was so brokenhearted, I said, I'll call you back. I appreciate your offer to help, but we got this. Professional Funeral Services and my son Damon and the wonderful other people and a secret person that I'm gonna just say owns 5 or 6 newspapers and in the city of in the state. They take care of my son. But no Trojan horses, none of that other kind of stuff. It's a wait and see what's going to happen. That's what's coming into our city. What's the new movement? I appreciate her hiring and retaining some of the previous staff. Shout out to Elena and all the other people that's still here. My friend Big Al, his daughter's still rolling. So she's been a culture barrier and helping my family, the Baptiste family. And so I want to just wait and see and give her all of my support, because she calls my office and calls my house. And that's what she can do to help in my grief and loss. And so I'm saying to her that anything that she needs from me, from Papa David Russell Baptiste Sr., all she have to do is call. That's all she have to do is call. Because I remember that call from her office about my son, asking what could she do to help me. So anything I could do to help her get our city rolling. She has a big challenge in front of her, to make the city run. And so we need the support of the city, the people, and try and make the city a great place that it is, that is looked at from around the world. People come to our cities, our wonderful city. So I'm gonna wait and see, but I believe in God. I believe things happen for a reason. So whatever we can do to help her make this a better place for our city, that's what I would like to do.
All right, Papa Baptiste, thank you so much for sharing that with us today. We always love to hear from you and the Baptiste family.
Will, one last thing. We're doing a big show out in California, Grammy Party weekend, Arnie Russell and our musical family in Box Canyon, up outside of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
January the 31st, a big function that we're going to be doing.
All right. When I'm off the air, send me the info about that. I know some folks in that area, okay?
Send it to Damon.
Okay,
yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
I got Harry Belafonte's daughter's going to be there. A whole bunch of other people. It's up there where Kardashian them lives up.
All right. I'll send a note to Damon. All right. Lord's blessings. All right. Well, thank you, Papa Baptiste. Victor Sims.
Well, as I said earlier, there's distress and there's eustress. What I just heard was a lot of eustress, positive feelings about this new incoming situation, which is a good deal. We want to hope that there is positive outcome from what has transpired, and we're still hoping for it. In looking at involvement with other people, I'm going to use a marriage as a situation. A lot of people put a great deal of money into the wedding, but the proof comes in the marriage. How do you navigate the difficulties of this level, of this situation that you're now in? And that's where it's going to make a determination. And time will tell. Time will demonstrate. We've had individuals who get into office with the promises, with the expectations, and then when the reality hits, there's some changes, there's some differences, there's some forced behaviors based upon the reality of what transpired. That person's ability to maintain themselves within that environment is the strength of whether or not the government is going to function well. So that person who's in charge is going to have that really strong sense of service, sense of duty, ability to compromise, ability to be flexible in order to get things accomplished and done.
So you're talking about the role that person who's in the seat has to play. But I remember vividly when we talked last time about election have consequences, the emotional impact with voting and all those things. A couple of years ago, what role emotionally does the community have to play? What's our responsibility?
A huge role. The community has to speak up. The way this system is set up is based upon the people voicing their desires, their needs, their wishes, their wants, and then individual in that position to be able to meet those needs, wishes, and desires. Then if not, be able to explain why this cannot be done and deal with the difficulty, because there's no one going to be able to accomplish every goal that you set out. That's just our existence just doesn't live that way. Now, if you're able to accomplish it, one, if you can't, then you have to explain to the individuals who put you in that position why this is an impossible task, or what steps need to be taken, and what is the pain that's going to have to occur in order to get some positive things done, and then deal with the outcome. There will be people on both sides of every issue that's going to be promoting their point of view. Her task is going to be able to manage that with her own values, ethics, and morals that's going to lead her to make the eventual decision to accomplish whatever goal that she set out for. But it's a hodgepodge.
I have one thing, Will and Victor Sims, that the public really needs to do, especially from the perspective of an elected official, is there are a lot of things that you have political platforms. Political platforms are one thing.
Yeah.
Actual governance is a whole nother thing. And the public really needs to be patient, because once Mayor Marino and her team really dig deeper into governance and how do you apply the charter, how do you run city government, there are different things that you find out, some good, some bad.
Yeah.
Some that you can do as it relates to your political platform, some that the structure wouldn't allow you to do, something financially you can't do, and something in terms of delivery of services you can't do. So I think the public needs to at least give her and her team time to get through that. And when you talk about governments and actually operation of city government.
Okay, so let me ask you a question about that time. And I want OT to answer this. I'd like your perspective on how we work through this, because my guess is there are going to be different ways for people to work through this at different times. So I hear you. I hear what you're saying. There are people who are ecstatic. They are over the moon. They are so excited. But with the situation that we're in and the way governance works, how much time does the new mayor have with the people who are so excited versus the people who were disappointed? But hold on. The people who are disappointed and have to be convinced. What I hear you saying is both of them need to give her and her team some time. How much time for those different groups?
And that's the thing. Then Victor can follow up on my comments. Then you have to understand there are different levels of the electorate, right? We saw that during the Landrieu administration, right? The press rarely reminds Mitch Landrieu that he cost us 330 police officers. The fireman's pension is out of whack. Mitch stood up at a press conference and said the pumps were working when people behind him were saying, no, they're not, right? But it didn't stop in terms of the people who supported him because they didn't care. They were locked into him. So you're going to have a group of people who Mayor Marino could not do anything right. They're not going to care because she's their candidate. She's their person, whether it's race, whether it's gender, whether that's who they rock with, whether they're part of the political team who benefits. Then there's another sector of the public who just wanted change. And Victor will elaborate on that. So they're looking for something different than what they got before. If they get something different from what they got before, if it's at minimum functional, they'll be satisfied. There's another group that they don't care. As long as you're a politician, now that you're in the seat, they're already building a negative image of you.
Yeah.
And then this is the most important part of the electorate, Will. Listen to me closely. There's a group that doesn't care one way or another. How does the new mayor and the new administration impact them so that they do? So that they see their communities being impacted positively.
Mm-hmm.
They see somebody thinking about them. Those four groups have their own opinion, and they're all looking from a group that doesn't give a damn one way or another. From many of the press, many of our supporters, business people, all they know is they got who they wanted. To that group that doesn't care whether it was Oliver, Royce, Helena, or Eileen Carter, that's never, ever been impacted one way or another.
Right.
Yeah.
So how much time is that?
Given the experience and the length that this particular politician has been around, 6 to 9 months.
Okay, thank you. We're going to have to take a break.
Not a
Hold on
problem.
to your thought.
Sure
and
will
we're going
do.
to get right back to that. And before we get out of here, we're going to talk about how to deal with not keeping your New Year's resolutions. So we're going to talk about that too. Reverend Calhoun, we see you. We'll get to you after the break. You're on with the Good Morning Show with Will Sutton, Oliver Thomas, and Victor Sims. The talk line is 504-582-9422. What's that number, OT?
504-582-9422. And we're talking and want to talk to you.
All right. You're listening to WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Talk to him, big brother.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
The January feel continues as we go throughout the rest of the week. Highs for today will be 59 to 61 degrees. We'll see partly cloudy skies, increasing clouds for the afternoon as we could see a shower or two brush through. For tonight, lows 43 to 48, and then for your Wednesday, slightly warmer, but a cold front moves in, dropping our temperatures even more for Thursday. Highs possibly only into the 40s and the 50s, and staying cool for the rest of the week. From the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
New Orleans never sleeps, and neither does WBOK. Now, every voice, every moment, and every show is in your pocket. Search WBOK Media wherever you get podcasts. Download, share, rate us 5 stars. Because when you support us, you amplify Black voices and the New Orleans culture.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Let's kick this year off right. WBOK invites you to the Fresh Start Mixer, Vision and Venture, part of a Seat at the Table series for 2026. January 15th at Nostalgia, 320 South Broad Street. Come create your own vision board, set your goals, sharpen your ideas, and connect with people who are actually building towards their future. Kick your year off right with a seat at the table. January 15th at Nostalgia, 320 South Broad Street from 5:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. Follow WBOK Media on Instagram. Ask for details in the DMs.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com. What if just $50 could open the door to your new home? Godan's is inviting you to enter their Key to Your Heart house raffle, where one ticket gives you a chance to win a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in the city of New Orleans. The drawing will happen on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Tickets must be purchased by February 12th at 11:59 p.m. Enter now at RAYZE.it/Key to Your Heart.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
morning and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton on with OT and Victor Sims. We're talking about a number of things related to the inauguration and
the psychology
transition.
of elections.
Definitely the psychology and impact of election has consequences, and now here we are. A new mayor as of yesterday, new city council. We've got some callers, and we're going to get to you in just a moment. Hold on. Be patient with us. Sims.
Yeah. On the comments that OT made about different individuals and their goals and
Different
their
groups.
desires, that is a fact about just being a human, just being a person. There are individuals who will support an individual no matter what they do. They're totally on board with them. And will rationalize any behavior that we seem is maybe not as kosher as we think it. They're rationalized based upon that this individual is a reflection of their thoughts and ideas. Then there are those individuals who are totally against no matter what is taking place. Because they have concepts that don't meet this individual's goals, wishes, and wants. And even if this person does something that's beneficial to that group, they will still find some way to vilify.
They won't allow her to be successful, even if she's doing something well.
Doing something well.
Correct.
Yeah. Then there's a group that really doesn't care. There's just a negative opinion about politicians, period. And anything that takes place that even resembles an inappropriate behavior and activity, they'll pounce on and see, I told you that's what it's going to be.
And then there's that group that just feels like it doesn't matter or care at all.
It doesn't matter at all. And that's our American society has allowed that group to exist because all these services are going to be provided no matter what they do. They just go along for the program just to get whatever they particularly want. The trick is to find the group that's going to be fair and honest based upon what is taking place. Sometimes you may find individual groups may shift back and forth based upon what they feel is appropriate to their needs. It's all going to be about the individual and my thoughts and my ideas going forward and being promoted. Because if it's not, the reality of that is not going to matter. I'm not getting what I want, therefore you're not a good person. Or if I get what I want, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Okay. All right, we're going to go to our call-in line, our talk line. Reverend Calhoun, good morning,
The
sir.
mayor of the Ninth
You're
Ward.
on with Will Sutton, OT, and Victor Sims.
The mayor of the Ninth Ward. He got inaugurated. No, it's you in your eternal term.
But look, I got a quick, and I don't know if I'm framing it right, but there's a point where you need to have some inclusion, right? If we've had politicians come to this city, and with the exception outside of the French quarters, you have never saw them below Canal Street. Between Canal Street and Jackson Barracks, they have not been. So how, Victor, can you say that we have a voice or feel that we have a voice with those people? Because they're at that next echelon. And I know we're talking about local government, but if we are being excluded or not included, even in they don't even think enough of you to come even and ask you for your vote. How then do we feel that we are part of or included in any decision making that on that level is being made? And I'm just trying to see how do we be included in a politician that's running on a state level and does not have no respect, in my opinion, to come to the community and even ask for their vote. So if they don't ask for their vote, they don't feel that they even need to talk to us or to include them in whatever plans or whatever they're going to do in terms of their candidacy.
Reverend Calhoun, are you talking about state level as in legislature?
I'm talking about on state level. I'm talking about on federal level. These folks don't even come into our community to speak to us. They don't feel they need our vote. And to be specific, I don't ever recall Jeff Landry coming below Canal outside of the French quarters. I don't ever know of him being in the 8th Ward, the 9th Ward, the 7th Ward, or the 6th Ward. So that's my concern. If you're not going to even come sit down and have time to speak to us, how then do we go further? How do I feel that I'm included in the decision makings, or I am even a thought on the minds of those people if I'm not included, even in a discussion during your campaign. So that's kind of what I'm saying is, are we included? That feeling of not being included, to me, creates that I don't care attitude.
I mean, the community, the community determines that. You determine it by your vote. If you turn out and you make a statement against or for someone else, then that tells that person, hey man, there usually is a relationship, or there's the lack thereof a relationship. Now I will say this: when Jeff Landry ran for Attorney General, he was in New Orleans. He was in a lot of community. I think he got 41% of the black vote in this metro area to win Attorney General. Now, in terms of visibility of his gubernatorial campaign, I don't know. Yeah. I've seen Senator Cassidy in the Ninth Ward in our community. So, but look, I've had people say that, man, I don't see Oliver. I never forget, there was an event. I had 400 seniors at my annual holiday luncheon that I've been doing in honor of my mom for years, because she was at one time used to participate with the Sanchez Senior Center. Reverend Rick Eisner had an event 3 blocks away at his church. There was a young man at Reverend Rick Eisner's event who was saying, "We don't never see Oliver in the Ninth Ward." I was 3 blocks. I was 3 blocks away with 500 senior citizens. So I don't really care about seeing somebody. It's the impact, whether I see them or not, or if they're represented through their cabinet or through their administration.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a call from Don. Don, you're on the line with Will Sutton, OT, and Victor Sims. Good morning.
Three the hard way. Good morning.
Good morning, Don.
You know, this year will be 50 years since the release, the publication of Roots, the Saga of an American Family, 1976. But I'm speaking of family. When this is more directed towards who will be the new sheriff, Sheriff Woolfolk. Okay, and she would be handling mental illness now as a segment of corrections.
Yes.
And how the state when Payush Jinder was governor, he cut healthcare. Y'all know that.
Drastically.
And now he shifted down to the local level. Okay? But here's the thing, and this is more with the expertise of Dr. Sims as well. Recidivism and the level, my proposal to the sheriff is, when you have this captive audience that you would have, is there a way that you can do a bio on those who can read, those who are functionally illiterate, those who have completed high school? Of course, it plays such a critical role in recidivism, in the mental health. When a child is not diagnosed with dyslexia early on, and proper intervention, that leads to later on mental health issues. And so a lot of the crimes we can tie to illiteracy and dyslexia and other learning disabilities. And so and with that responsibility, do you think that's an appropriate idea for the sheriff to have some educational psychologists and stuff, do a pilot program, maybe with 50 inmates or so, just to get all of them on record?
That's a great question, Don. We're gonna let Victor Sims answer.
I think that would be absolutely fabulous to do. But I do think there is some form of assessment in an individual's going into that system. I once asked Sheriff Gussman the average grade level of his incarcerated. I'm thinking in my mind 7th, 8th grade. He mentioned 2nd and 3rd grade was the average grade level of the people that's incarcerated. Now, mental illness, some people think of it as being crazy. No, depression, anxiety, frustration, irritation can lead an individual to engage in behavior that will end them up in the sheriff's care. Yes, some assessment need to be done to make a determination on this person's emotional state and their mental state at that time, because if you eventually are going to be released, if you are able to provide them with adequate services at that time to assist them in correcting their ability to deal with stress, anxiety, depression, frustration, disappointment, then you may have a better citizenry when they are released. So I thoroughly agree with you that that is a service that needs to be done. Now, the problem comes with who's going to actually provide the services. Because you have to have qualified individuals who are able to understand that. One time I ran an inpatient psychiatric unit. I had a group of social workers I was working with. It was a struggle for me to get them to willing to go into the inpatient psych unit. So now you're going to get individuals or professionals such as myself, which I would not have a problem with it, going into the jail system and provide adequate services, because that's going to also require that the system that they're in provides their needs as well. Because if I'm not being treated well in the system and a person comes into mental health, teaches you how to deal with it, but you're constantly not given the necessary resources, that's going to increase your feelings that the world doesn't care about me. And that's going to be a very difficult individual to treat. But yes, I totally agree that there should be assessments made of these individuals' mental state, and not just biological, psychological issues like bipolar or schizophrenia, but depression, anxiety, because these are major emotional states that cause people to behave and react in the bottom line to try to get their needs met.
First of all, Victor Sims, thank you. Don, excellent observation, excellent recommendation. But there's a deeper part of that, right? Studies have been done in the past, and I think, Victor, maybe we talked about it in the past. I remember John Sterling. His dad was Emil Jones, godfather senator in Chicago, where him and his company had thought about evaluating elementary school kids and third graders. What they found was that by the third grade, especially based on reading scores and behavior, the American Corrections Association can determine how much they need to invest in prisons and how many more prisons or juvenile facilities need to be built. So there are two captive populations there, kids in school, especially in early childhood education, and by the third grade and beyond, that assessment needs to be done so we could formulate and make a case of every child as well as people in the corrections institution. If those things are not done in the world and environment we have today, and I think Victor can say whatever the medical or psychological behavior term is, but we're playing with emotional instability because we don't know where people are emotionally, mentally, or in terms of their behavior.
Right. Yeah. And we really don't. That child is going to be impacted by their environment. Okay, that environment is not providing them with their needs, the necessity of their needs. Then that child's going to have an emotional reaction to that. And what the worst person to see is a child that's quiet, that's not saying much of anything, because you don't know what's going on inside that individual's mind. And if their needs are not being met, they're determining how they're going to get those needs met. And if that is antisocial ways, but basically not going along with rules and regulations, because rules and regulations keep you bottled up and you can't get your needs, going outside those lines is going to be a natural thing. We as human beings are going to learn. We're going to learn either appropriately, we're going to learn inappropriately, but we're going to learn. And what are we going to learn? How to get our needs met. So individuals who are incarcerated, they have learned how to get their needs met in inappropriate sociological ways. And they're going to use those uncomfortable emotions because they can't get their needs met. And at that age of third and fourth grade, you're really beginning to formulate your own personality at that point in time. You're locking yourself into whether the world is going to be providing for you or not providing for you. And that's from your parents, your neighborhood, your teachers, the streets. Your home. Those things have impact upon a person. So have an evaluation to make a determination where that person is, so assist them in trying to correct their thoughts is definitely necessary.
Okay. All right, we got another caller. Good morning, Daniel. You're on with Will Sutton.
Good morning. Happy
OT
New Year, Mr.
and
Daniel.
Victor Sims.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. How are you fellas doing this morning?
Good morning, young fella.
Coffee so far?
Even better now that you called.
We better now we're listening to you.
Yeah, let's hear from you.
First of all, I want to say congratulations to you again, Brother Oliver, man. You are a true Trojan in this world of economic stability in New Orleans, man. You are the epitome of excellence to this place, man. I just want to say thank you for being you.
I appreciate that.
I also wanted to, I'm excited, but I'm also skeptical. Okay. I have not seen a New Orleans mayor from New Orleans, native, right, for quite some time. And I do feel that we look to others to fix our problems, but I think, and I'm just being, single-minded here. I would love to see someone from New Orleans, born in New Orleans, went to school in New Orleans, ate the gumbo at other people's houses, took care of the other people's kids, become mayor again. And I think that the city really needs a New Orleanian to govern New Orleans. And I'm excited about Moreno being here to run the city. If he can help us with the poverty. I think now, when I looked at it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, 58% of residents was under poverty. I think it's grown since then. And we wonder why all the killing and the stealing and the robbing and all of this is because people don't have opportunity. 35% of the contracts in the city come to New Orleans residents. 35% of the city contracts. Everything out here is based on grants from outside sources. So we need to horn that back in. I hope that she can get from erecting street lights and fixing potholes to actually getting into the real, nuts and bolts of what the city really needs.
Great comment.
The city is bleeding profusely, and we don't need to patch it. We need to replace it. She's talking about restoring these old buildings. Yeah, cool. That's great. That's going to take a lot of time. What can we do immediately to stop the bleeding?
Mr. Daniel, you said something that if you study the history of politics and change, right, especially when you talk about from the Industrial Revolution to Kennedy's expectation for what we do for the country to Frederick's and all of those notables, they will tell you just what you said. Very rarely I've ever heard someone when you said, you can talk about infrastructure and those things that impact services, but if you don't get to the root cause of uplifting the people and allowing them to participate at a greater number here, you will never make change. Where did you get that from? Because that's what most historians will tell you.
Common sense.
Okay.
All right.
Common sense.
Right.
Common sense is not common. I say that all the time. Dr. Martin Luther King
You can fix my street light, but if you don't light a light in me, it doesn't make a difference. Right.
All right.
You want to tell me about your politics, but my stomach is hungry, and I'm trying to worry about what I'm going to eat.
Okay.
You know what I mean, or where I'm going to sleep.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel.
How I'm going to take a bath because my water is off.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But you're telling me about a building.
Gotcha.
I don't give a.
We got some sharp people out there.
Yeah.
Well,
basic.
Well, we got some smart people.
Basic human needs and desires. We're driving the individual to think a particular way on how to get.
You can make it
met.
safe, but I'm not. If I'm not safe in my ability to earn and have a roof over my head, then am I really safe?
Yeah.
Good stuff, Mr. Daniel.
All right, Aaron, hold on. We're going to get to you right after this break. Great conversation.
Yeah,
gentlemen.
really
Great
good
conversation. Really good and important for us to think about and process, and for the new mayor and the new city council to keep this in mind.
And we need to give them a chance to be successful.
Move forward.
No doubt.
The talk line is 504-582-9422. You're listening to WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day
long, Big Brother.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. The Magnificent Seven, led by NVIDIA, have been dominating conversations on Wall Street for a while now. But Black-owned and led Ariel Investments is finding value flying under the radar with smaller companies. Here's Ariel Investments founder, chairman, and CEO, John Rogers.
We're still finding ideas in the small value space. They really have been ignored. They're kind of the ugly ducklings when you compare it to NVIDIA and Apple and all these giant, exciting growth stories. The little mundane businesses that we've invested in for 42 years just seem particularly orphaned these days. So we're seeing great ideas and excited to be doing the research. I think there's real opportunity for small value.
Ariel Investments, John Rogers speaking to Bloomberg there. The firm's flagship Ariel Fund focuses entirely on small and mid-cap stocks. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Hello, friend. Tavis Smiley here with a special announcement. You can catch my show at a new time. Weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Same great topics, same great guests, same great conversations, just a little earlier in the day. It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m. only on WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about.
Attention parents, the Willow School, an A-rated National Blue Ribbon School in partnership with Tulane University, is now accepting applications for grades K through 12. Willow offers a nationally renowned arts integrated curriculum, top science and engineering program, and competitive athletic program. The Willow School is the highest performing K through 12 school in the state. The Willow School, where minds soar and creativity flourishes. Learn more about the application process at willowschoolnola.org today.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Comparing the cost of will, successions, and trusts.
A will might only be a few $100s, but your family could end up paying more in legal fees.
Trust costs more upfront, but saves time, stress, and potentially thousands.
Think of it as paying a little now to avoid a big bill later. Smart planning means big savings for your family. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
New Orleans, the city of festivals and second chances. This is Mr. Rocky of Faithers in Jesus the Christ, inviting everyone to come to the table of grace. No matter where you are or what you're dealing with, guilt, bad habits, mistakes, or heavy hearts, Jesus still calls us his friend, and his grace is waiting for us. Tune in to WBOK 1230 a.m. or watch live on Facebook or Instagram. We'll reflect on his work on the cross, his resurrection, his ascension, and the hope of his return for we who that believe and have received him by faith. So join us at the table of grace, where mercy is fresh, forgiveness is real, and grace is served for people like you and me.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. For those of you all who have been with us, for those of you who are just waking up, turning over or whatever, and tuning us in, we appreciate you and welcome you to the last few minutes of the Good Morning Show, just before the front porch comes up next. We've got a caller, and then want to hear some more from Victor Sims to kind of put us in the context of what we're talking about. New year, new direction, new administration.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. Good morning, Aaron. You're on with Will Sutton, OT, and Victor Sims.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, good morning, Greg.
We got about 30, 40 seconds.
I got you. First off, shouts out to the Fatherhood Roundtable as well as the Houston New Gun Club, Louisiana. Look, what I want to know is for the education piece, how much of a role does miseducation plays in one's mental health? And as we approach on Mardi Gras, right, Brother Thomas, I bet not see you in front of no Grambling band talk about you taking a picture and you one of the greatest bands in the land. Don't do that this year, bro. I gave you a pass, man. Don't do that this year. Love y'all, man. But yeah, that's my question.
Yes, sir.
How much of a role does mental health play? Does miseducation plays in one's
come on, Aaron.
Won't happen this year.
You know, that was my paycheck for a few years at Grambling State University, and we have 2 great bands in this state.
This Southern territory, man.
I know. I hear you.
Forgive me. I know not what I did.
All right, Aaron.
All right. Look, to address your question, miseducation plays a huge role in mental health. Mental health is individuals able to maintain their environment, maintain their ability to provide resources for themselves. And if that is not done, that individual goes into a state of uncomfortable emotions, which is a mental health issue, depression or anxiety, which can transfer into behavior of desperation. An individual would now do whatever is necessary in order to survive, which is our number one goal of all human beings. So if that person doesn't have the education on how to accomplish those goals, they will have some mental issues, again, mental, emotional, anxiety, depression, frustration, irritation, which will lead them to engage in behaviors that they may perceive is going to get those needs met. And what they actually are doing is running afoul of the system as a whole. So education to me is a key to resolve a great deal of society's ills and problems.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Victor Sims, for a delightful and informative hour. And thank you to the callers who did a great job with
no doubt
providing some context and some
no
different
doubt.
points.
Absolutely.
Even a great recommendation that we got today. So we appreciate Don, Daniel, Papa Baptiste, Reverend Calhoun, Aaron for calling in. But that doesn't, just because you call doesn't mean we don't appreciate you listening to the Good Morning Show. We appreciate
and supporting your station economically. Businesses out there.
Absolutely.
Look, black media is important. From the Pittsburgh Courier to the old days here of early periodicals, we're losing that voice. Mainstream media, we have a few great people like Will Sutton and a few others, but the voice of our community, the thoughts of our community matter. Let's support the Tribune. Let's support Data News. Let's support WBOK. It matters.
Yep. I was reading the Louisiana Weekly in the last couple of days, and I got some stuff that I wanted to do yesterday, wanted to do today, and it's like, no, but I'll get to some of that, and we will have a segment with the New Orleans Tribune and talking about where they stand and their future. That'll be coming up on Thursday. Tomorrow, Ashley Shelton from the Power Coalition will be joining. Excited about that. All right, folks, it's time for the front porch. Coming up next on WBOK.
Not the back of the side porch.
It's the front porch.
Front porch.
WBOK, 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about
all day long. Love it.